Hi guys, I'm Jamie and welcome back to the channel. In this video I'll be reviewing my Axminster AC254 Table Saw on Jamie's Workshop Projects. Now I know this video is long overdue. Even Axminster have done a rebranding of their lineup of saws since I bought it. These are now called Axminster Workshop instead of Axminster Craft. I've had this saw for nearly 2 years now, so it's a good amount of time that I've had with it. Before I get started, I just want to say I might sound a little bit biased towards this saw because of what I upgraded from. However, this saw does have a few niggles, so I'll try and give it a balanced opinion. To kick things off, and one of the main reasons I was looking to upgrade from my old table saw is for the induction motor. The AC254TS has a 1500 watt induction motor, and this thing is just so pleasant. Compared to my old saw, which was just so damn loud, man, it became kind of embarrassing to use. This one, it doesn't sound like a screaming banshee every time I switch it on. I'd say it is loud from a health and safety perspective, but it's not ear-piercingly loud if I forget to put my ear defenders on. The Axminster AC254 takes a 254mm blade, hence the name, with a 30mm bore. This is the same size blade as my old saw, which meant I didn't have to buy new blades. Bonus! The blade which comes with the saw is an Axcaliber 52 combination blade. An unexpected outcome since upgrading my saw is that I actually take the time to swap the blade depending on the cut because it's relatively simple to do. It might take 2 minutes. My only niggle with this is taking out the little hex screws each time and then putting them back in afterwards. It's kind of tedious. A pull handle or finger hole to make removing the insert plate easier would be beneficial, and if it could be retrofitted to this model, I don't see why not. You know, I'd definitely buy one of those just to make it easier. The cast iron top is flat and heavy, like really heavy, and the workpiece, it just slides straight across it. I rub the cast iron top, wings, rip fence and fence rail with machine wax every couple of weeks or so, and just keeps it in good condition. The miter slots measure 19mm wide, and I didn't need a miter gauge at first, but I stumbled across a UJK one on eBay for a bargain, so I snapped that up. Now, there's no play in the slots with the miter gauge, but I do find the depth from the front edge of the table to the beginning of the blade rather small, and as you can see here, it's just over around 16 centimeters, so just over 6 inch. The rip capacity of the saw is 430mm wide on the right side, which is where I'm assuming most of you will have your fence. I like to have my fence on the left, so I got the left hand side extension upgrade, which gives me a rip capacity of 575mm. Comfortably though, I max out the left side at 560 because using 18mm ply with the fence set to its max, the workpiece didn't feel completely supported. After buying the saw, a few projects came up where I could have done with a ripping capacity of at least 600mm, and this was for cabinets, but I dare say there are other ways of making a cut that wide with this saw. The whip fence is now cock on, but I did have to adjust it after setting up the saw, and this is where I ran into quite a big issue. There's 4 bolts with washers holding the fence down to the fence clamp, but the top of the bolts protrudes higher than the tabletop, and I found here it was throwing my workpiece off because it was balancing on top of the bolt instead of against the fence and the table. 3 of them came out easily enough, but one was proper seized and I knackered the bolt head. So I had to cut a new slot for a flathead screwdriver. Yes, I did take an angle grinder to a brand new £800 table saw, and yeah, it did work. A couple of minor scuffs on the outside of the fence, but I sorted it. With the washers removed, I could adjust the fence to be square to the blade and tighten them back down. The whip fence comes with a sliding sub fence which is easily attached and removed, and I find I use this feature a lot just because of how simple it is to use, and it helps keep my fingers away from the blade. One other minor problem with the whip fence is this plastic piece underneath, which is scratching the cast iron tabletop ever so slightly. I'm not sure why it's here, maybe to help it glide across, but a couple of you guys have mentioned yours has been digging in. To prevent mine from digging in, I try and keep it waxed up. Do you remember that 2 tins of machine wax that I received with the saw when I ordered it, because I ordered this when I was drunk? Well, I'm still on the first tin, so I've got plenty to go at. When I bought the saw, I was using a generic 50 litre dust extractor, which was proper underpowered for this saw. The Axminster AC254 requires a minimum extraction airflow of 1,000 metre cubic per hour, and the one I was using was around 200 metre cube per hour. So I upgraded to the Axminster AC82E, which has an airflow of just over 1,500 metre cube per hour, and I gotta say, for over 250 quid, I was a little disappointed. I wouldn't say the saw has excellent dust extraction from above, as there's still a lot of sawdust on the table, but there is definitely an improvement. Another problem I've run into, which doesn't happen often, is a long workpiece running into the hose support. Now, I know you wouldn't make this type of cut with this piece of wood like this, but imagine it's a sheet of MDF. You've just set up your measurements, you go to make the cut, and damn it. Adjusting the blade height or tilt with the wheels is really smooth. I just got to spin the lock, turn the handle to the desired height or angle, and lock it back into place. The max height of the blade is 80mm, and the blade tilts to 45 degrees. The height adjustable feet help me dial in precisely to the height of my outfeed workbench. The dimensions of the tabletop with the wings attached are 1057mm wide by 900 deep, or 41.6 inch wide by 35.4 inch deep. The height of my saw is 375mm, but I can probably take 15mm off that due to the feet being raised, so call it 360mm. Moving on to cutting, now I've put a minor selection of hardwoods through the saw: oak, ash, mahogany, walnut and rubber wood, maybe just over an inch, and it's pretty much handled them all. The fence kept the piece true and the blade stayed at 90. The only one the saw did struggle with was rubber wood, and this was from our old dining table set. Despite only being about an inch thick material, it just really struggled going through the saw. I don't know why this is. The wood would dry. Maybe you could let me know in the comments below why that is. Now, when I wanted to cut a piece thicker than the height or the capacity of the blade, or to make a non-through cut, I have to remove the riving knife because it sits higher than what the blade is. I attached the auxiliary fence and then could take multiple passes through the workpiece by raising the blade after each cut and spin the workpiece around, and again the saw handled this perfectly. There's no unintentional door wedges with this cut. Lastly, the biggest pain of all I have with the saw is with the fence rail. Because I upgraded to have the left side extension wing, I had to install a larger fence rail, and this thing sticks out a further 90mm at the left side, which I'm forever catching my hip on. The sharp edge, I could really do with rounding that little bugger off. Overall, it's a sturdy machine. I was expecting it to be perfect because of the price I paid for it. It's not, but it is a damn good saw. I'm happy with the saw. It's solid and it does have a premium feel about it. So to recap, the points I like about this saw are the induction motor, the flat cast iron tabletop, the consistent size miter slots, the rip fence. The points I dislike: the rip capacity could be slightly larger, the dust collection above the table could be better, and the other ones are just minor. So yeah guys, this was my review of the Axminster AC254TS. It's a bit later than planned, but I've definitely broken in the saw before giving it an honest opinion about it and tried a few accessories. A few of you have commented with questions on my unboxing and setup video of the saw, which I did a couple of years back, so if I missed anything off in this one, I do apologise. I tried to incorporate it all. If there is anything else that you would like to know about the saw, please leave your question below in the comment section. I do read them all and I'll do my best to answer you. And that's it for this video. Thanks again for watching. I proper appreciate it as always guys, and I'll see you in the next one sooner. Thanks.